Good afternoon. So for today, we will start discussing about what we call equations. So for our introduction, we will talk about related terms to equations and also the properties of equality, and also how to check whether the given value of the variable is a solution to a given equation. So let us compare the two sets of statements. So one set are equations, one set are not equations, also known as expressions. Okay. So if you chose the set on the right as equations, then you are correct. So itong mga ito, these are equations. So, bakit? Kasi po, from the word itself, equation, meron siyang equal sign. Okay? So, ito namang mga walang equal sign. These are what we call expressions. Okay? So, we have 2 plus x, p plus 10, 20 minus x. So, last time we already discussed that any variable may represent a certain value, no? And yung value na yon, if we're talking about equations already, that value will be a specific one, no? And yun yung ating isosolve later on, no? Okay. So, ayan yung ating objectives, nabanggit ko na rin kanina. So, what are equations? If we are to define equations, it refers to a statement that indicates that two numbers or expressions are equal. No? So it's the definition of an equation. Okay, so it can also be defined as two expressions connected by an equal sign. Okay, so syempre kapag inequality greater than, less than, or equal po yung magiging sign natin. Okay, so for example, we have 20 minus x equals 11. We have the left side of the equation, or the left hand side of the equation, and we have the right side of the equation. No, so lahat ng terms mula sa equal sign papuntang kaliwa, and lahat ng terms mula sa equal sign papuntang kanan. Okay. So, aside from the term equation, syempre meron tayong tinatawag na solution, also known as the root. Ito po. So, yun yung isa pa niyang tawag. So, the root refers to the value of the variable that makes the equation true. No po? So, for example, ibalik natin, no, bago itong isang example natin ito. No, so dun sa ating mga earlier examples ng equations, no. So kung ano daw yung value nitong missing na quantity na ito, no, yun yung tinatawag na root or solution. So for example, pwede namang isipin muna natin ng yung solution sa mga ito, no, dahil simple statements naman siya. So for our first given, we have 2 plus an unknown quantity is equal to 8. No, so if you're going to think carefully, which number should be added to 2 so that you will have 8? No, so if you answered 6, then you're correct. No, so tama nga naman. If you have 2 plus 6, the result will be 8. Na po. So check. Correct po yung ating solution na 6. For the next one, we have p plus 10 equals 35. So the question will be, which number should be added to 10 to have 35 as the result? No. So if you answered 25, then you're correct. No. So bakit? Kasi 25 plus 10, no. And 25 plus 10 is 35. So tama nga naman. 35 is equal to 35. Yung nasa right side ng equation natin. Okay? So, 25 is a solution. Then, for the last one, 20 minus x equals 11. What number are you going to take away from 20? So, you will have 11. If If you answered 9, then you are correct. No? So, 20 minus 9, the result is 11, which is equal to the right side of our equation. No po, so itong mga ito, these are our solutions. No? And as you can see, what we did is we replaced the variables with its equivalent, no? And syempre kapag nagre-replace ka ng variable using its equivalent, that one is what we call the substitution property. So lagay na natin dito yung substitution. So this one has already been discussed to you during the evaluating of algebraic expression. No, so substitution property. Okay, so the first step again for substitution is to replace, and the second step is for us to perform the order of operations. So parenthesis, exponent, multiply, and divide. No, then add or subtract left to right. Okay, so for example, we have 2x minus 4 equals, actually we do not have a parenthesis, so let's scratch this one. Is the value of the variable solution or not? Ayan, so scratch natin yan part na yan. Okay, so our given is 2x minus 4 equals 26 when x equals 15. Okay, so again, first step is to replace. Therefore, all of the x's in our given equation will be replaced by 15. So 2 pa rin siya. Okay, it will stay as 2. Then x will be replaced by 15. And since the operation between 2 and x is multiplication, let us put parenthesis. No, so 2 means multiplication. Then bring the other terms down. We have negative 4 and positive 26. Second step, perform the order of operations. Okay, so since 26 has no variable in it, no, it will stay as 26 on the right side of the equation. Let us simplify the left side of the equation. So 2 times 15 is 30. Now we multiplied first because m is done before s. Okay, so 2 times 15 is 30, bring down 4, and 30 minus 4 is 26. So always remember that when you have equal quantities on the left and the right side of the equation, therefore your given value is a solution. Okay, now for the properties of equality. Okay, so for the properties, we have operational properties and other properties. So let's divide that into groups of 4. Okay, so the following are the properties or operational properties of equality. Okay, so each property we will give an example. Okay, but you also have examples on your books. Here are just some of my own examples. Na po. As you can see, for the addition property of equality, we have an if statement and a then statement. No, so what you have to remember on this one is that these if and then statement are related. Okay, and the if stands for the cause, could be the cause, and we can represent the then statement as the effect. Okay, so another is if the if statement is the tree, then the then statement is the fruit. No, so they are related, and therefore you have to inspect each part of the equation, each of the corresponding part, I mean. No, so ibig sabihin, if we look at the left side of the equation, you have to look at the left side of the equation, of the other equation. No, and if we inspect the right side of the equation, we have to inspect the other right side of the another equation. Okay, so let's start with the addition property of equality. Okay, so if x equals 5, then x plus 3 equals 8. Na po. So let us inspect the left side of the equation. So as you can see, x becomes x plus 3. Okay, so we added 3 to x for it to become x plus 3. Let us check if it's the same process on the right side. 5 becomes 8. So we also added 3 to 5 so that it will become 8. Okay? So if you added on both sides, that one is addition property of equality. Next, for the subtraction property of equality, if we observe the left side first, no? So x becomes x minus 2. Okay, so we subtracted 2 from x, kaya naging x minus 2. And 7 becomes 5. Okay, so how did we change 7 to 5? We also subtracted 2. No? So since we subtracted on both sides of the equation, that one is subtraction property of equality. Then for the multiplication property of equality, if x equals 10, then 2x equals 20. No, so let us in Tagalog, kung ang x daw ay 10, ibig sabihin kung ita-times mo to sa 2, ita-times mo rin yung kabila sa 2. No? So x becomes 2x and 10 becomes 20. Then for the division property of equality, if you divide if x equals 10, then x divided by 2, since you divide this by 2, no, the right side will also be divided by 2. So 10 divided by 2 becomes 5. No po. So again, what we did is we inspected what process has been done on the corresponding left side of the equation and the corresponding right side of the equation. No po. So tanggalin ko tong mga ito para malinis ang ating sulat. Okay. So these are the properties of operation properties of equality. So as a summary, whatever operation you do to one side of the equation will be applied to the other side of the equation so that the equation will remain balanced. Okay? So we also have what we call reasoning, no? So on your grade 8, you will see there two column proofs, ganyan, no? And that is why we already discussed properties of equality, because not only on grade 7 but also in grade 8, 9, 10, and 11 and so on, no? So you will still encounter solving equations. So let us take these two examples. So if you're given, the first given, if x equals 5, then x plus 3 equals 8. And this one is APE. Okay? So, bakit? Why is it APE? So, let's inspect the left side of the equation. So, we have here originally x. Okay? And we have here originally 5. So, if x equals 5, therefore, if you add 3 to x, you have to add 3 as well to 5. Okay, so we added 3 to x. We also have to add 3 to 5. That is why on our then statement, we have x plus 3 equals 8. Because we already simplified 5 plus 3 equals 8. No, so this one is APE. Bakit? Kasi we added on both sides of the equation. Okay? Next. So, for our if statement, dito naman sa next natin, no? Kung mapapansin nyo, nagkapalit lang yung position or yung equation na nasa if natin. No, yung originally nasa then, napuntan sa if. And yung atin pong originally nasa if, nasa then na siya, no? So, the next statement is, if x plus 3 equals 8, then x equals 5. Why is it SPE? Okay, so if we're going to inspect carefully, x plus 3 becomes x. Therefore, we subtracted, diba? From the original x plus 3, we subtracted 3. No, kaya naging x na lang yung natira sa kanya, sa left side. And on the right side, if we are going to check, 8 becomes 5, meaning we also subtracted 3 from it for it to become 5. Okay? So, kaya siya SPE, it's SPE because we subtracted on both sides. Okay? So, for the other properties of equality, we have 4. Okay? So, substitution property we've already discussed earlier. So, let us proceed with the reflexive property of equality. Our reflexive property of equality states that any number is equal to itself. So, for example, 100 equals 100, x equals x. For this one, we have dun sa checking natin earlier. Okay, 26 equals 26. This is reflexive property as well, diba? So, any number is equal to itself. So, as you can remember the word reflect. Okay. Diba? Ano lang ba yung nagre-reflect, diba? So, we have there, halimbawa sa mirror, no? What you see is yourself. Okay? So, yourself is equal to yourself. Okay? So, reflexive property. Next, so for the symmetric property of equality, the expressions on both sides of the equation may be interchanged. No po? So, in symmetric, you may interchange the positions of the left and the right side of the equation and it will still mean the same. Okay? So, may times kasi na pag nagsusolve ng equations, may nangyayari na, ma'am, tama po ba yung sagot ko? Nasa kanan po kasi yung variable ko. It's still correct, no? Dahil, again, the reason is the symmetric property of equality. Last, for the transitive property of equality, if two quantities are both equal to a third quantity, then they are equal to each other. So, for example, if A equals 3 and B equals 3, no, then A and B are equal. So, tama nga naman, di ba? So, kung halimbawa ang tatay mo ay nagbigay ng 5 piso sa kapatid mo at kaparehas na dami din ng piso ang binigay sa'yo, ibig sabihin, 5 piso pa rin ang iyong natanggap. Okay? So, lagay natin in the term of if-then statement, kung ang tatay mo ay nagbigay ng 5 piso sa kapatid mo at kaparehas ng ibinigay sa'yo ang sa kapatid mo, di ibig sabihin, okay, 5 piso din ang meron ka. So, this one is also an example of a transitive property. Now, ma'am, anong kinaiba niya sa substitution, no? So, halos magkaparehas sila. Ito nga lang si substitution kasi. Mayroong part na pinapalitan ka. Ito kasi buong, diba? Ito, napagko-connect sila ng iisang quantity. So, since parehas na may x to, kung ano yung kaparehas na equal ng x, ka-equal ng x, no? So, sila yung napagko-connect, si 5 at si y. Kaya, y equals 5. No? So, sa substitution, so for example, yung kagaya nga ng kanina, no? So, halimbawa ay if x plus y equals 5 and, yon may second, and x equals 3, then, ayan. So, x, papalitan mo naman ng 3. No, hindi yung isang buo na papalitan. No. So, x becomes 3 plus y equals 5. Yan, no? So, dito sa transitive, buong as one statement na siya napalitan. No, that one is transitive. Pero pag isang part lang naman, ayan, that one is substitution property. Okay? So let us try to practice using the following examples. No po? So hindi po lahat ng properties ay nandito. Kasi pipito lang. Yan, pipito lang siya. No? So try pa rin natin analyze kada isa. So for the first given, if x plus 5 equals 13, then x equals 8. No po? So try to answer po pala muna lahat to bago nyo po i-play tong part na to. Check nyo po kung masasagutan nyo correctly. Okay, so let's reveal the answers. For the first one, x plus 5 becomes x. So, ibig sabihin, nag-subtract tayo ng 5, diba? And 13 becomes 8. So, nag-subtract din ng 5. Therefore, it's SPE. Next, so y minus 4 becomes y. Natanggal ulit yung negative. No? So, syempre, para matanggal yung negative 4, you add the opposite, which is positive 5, no? So, positive 4. Okay. So, nag-add tayo ng 4, kaya y na lang siya. And 32 plus 4 is 36. So, it's APE. Next. So, if x plus y equals 6 and y equals 1, no, so as you can see, y has been replaced by its equal quantity, which is 1. So, x plus 1 equals 6. Basta nag-replace ka, that one is substitution. Next, if x equals y and y equals 6, okay, so parehas equal sa y si x at si 6, therefore x equals 6 na po. So, dito, isang buong, dalawang quantity na pag-connect ng parehas na y, no? So, this one is transitive property. Next, if a equals b and x equals y, we multiply a and x, and we multiply b and y. Okay, so if you answered MPE, you're correct. No? So, bakit MPE? Again, the definition of MPE is that equals may be multiplied on both sides of the equation. So, since equal naman si x at y, pwede natin i-multiply si x at si y sa both sides of the equation. Next, so if a equals b, then b equals a. We flipped the statement. This one is symmetric. Lastly, we have 3x becomes x and 12 becomes 4. No? So, we cannot say that we subtracted here. No, hindi naman pwedeng nag-subtract ka. 12 becomes 4. 3 becomes 1. No, so para siyang nag-lowest term. Okay, or we divided. Okay, so 3x divided by 3 is 1x. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So this is DP.